A wintry mix looms on the horizon. Be prepared to stay inside for a couple of days.
World leaders sanction Russia as Ukrainian tensions mount.
UNT Rec Center starts group workouts for those looking for a fitness community.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Hannah Gonzalez.
And I'm Nick O'Gella.
Nick, there's no need to beat around the bush. We're planning to see some not so nice weather.
I know, you're so right, Hannah. And the temperature has continued to drop outside throughout the day. And we can also see that at Apogee, those strong winds have continued to increase as well.
That's right. We see Apogee on our screen, and our weather anchor, Isabella Quintanilla, is here to inform us on what is headed our way.
Thanks, Hannah and Nick. Another cold front blew through early this morning and temperatures are continuing to drop. Let's take a look at the live radar here later tonight to see the light rain and drizzle that will spread across North Texas. And as those temperatures drop below freezing, we're expected to see some icy weather through Thursday night. More on that later. Now let's take a look at the current conditions in Denton. As you can see, we're expected to have mostly cloudy skies with a temperature of 42 degrees and a wind speed of 18, making it feel like 32. Now looking at tonight's conditions, it's going to be cold again with a temperature of 27 degrees. That dropped almost 20 degrees and a wind speed of 13 miles per hour, making it feel like 10. Then looking at tomorrow's conditions, this is when that cold front starts to come through. That temperature is going to stay in the 20s at 29 degrees with a wind speed of 14 miles per hour, making it feel like 16. And we're expected to see some wintry conditions. More on that later. That's all I have for first look. Let's head back to the desk.
Thanks, Isabella. We'll be checking in with you later in the show. One man who is hoping for good weather tomorrow is George P. Bush, the current Texas Land Commissioner. He wants to be the next Attorney General and is in Denton on a campaign swing before Tuesday's primary election. Bush is challenging the current Attorney General, Ken Paxton, and Bush will be looking for votes at Rudy's Barbecue on I-35. This is his second attempt at campaigning in Denton, though he was supposed to be here 2 weeks ago during our last winter storm.
The primary next week will be a crowded one. There are 7 statewide seats on the ballot. The current governor, Greg Abbott, is facing 7 other challengers on the Republican ticket. Abbott is looking for his 3rd term in Austin. This list of challengers is the longest he has ever faced. On the Democratic side of the aisle, Beto O'Rourke is the most well-known figure. He is facing 4 other Democrats who want to be the next governor of state. Beto has been in Denton on campaign swings this election cycle. The other statewide races include Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Land Commissioner, Agriculture Commissioner, Comptroller, and 1 seat on the Texas Railroad Commission. Winners of the March 1st primary will face each other in the November 8th midterm election. Dallas County has now dropped from the red zone to the orange zone for coronavirus safety precautions. Dallas ISD is looking to drop its mask mandate by the end of this month.
And though that may be good news for Dallas County, Denton County is still seeing high numbers in COVID cases and is still classified in the red zone. Meanwhile, there is political discourse over the Denton mask mandate. ntTV's Drew Maurer has more on this development.
Thanks, Nick. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton threatens the city of Denton with a lawsuit to end its mask mandate. Denton City Council settled Monday morning to keep their mask mandate in place. The mandate, voted on back in August of 2021, requires residents to wear face coverings in schools, city buildings, and places of childcare. Interim City Manager Sarah Hensley was informed last Thursday from Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's office that they believe Denton to be in violation of Governor Abbott's Executive Order GA38, which bans all mask mandates in the state of Texas. They demanded Denton to remove their mask mandate by noon today, a claim to which they rejected. Denton local attorney Richard Gladden stated that this is not the first of these legal threats, and each of those attempts to change the mandate have failed. That's all from me. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Drew. Today is a huge step for female athletes everywhere. Our sports anchor Armando Berry has more details on what has recently transpired. Armando.
Thanks, Hannah. On this day, the U.S. women's soccer team are finally granted equal pay. On this day, a fight that's impacted generations of athletes is justified. On this day, these women are heard. A fight for equal pay between U.S. soccer and the women's national team has finally resolved due to a class action equal pay lawsuit filed in 2019. This came as a result of the women's players being paid thousands of dollars less than the men. Today, U.S. Soccer agreed to a $24 million settlement and committed to provide an equal rate of pay to the women's national team. Forward Megan Rapinoe spoke about the impact of today's monumental decision.
Go back and undo the injustices that we face, but the only justice coming out of this is that we know that something like this is never going to happen again, and we can move forward and making soccer the best sport that we possibly can in this country, and setting up the next generation so much better than we ever had.
I'll have more on sports later on in the show. Nick, back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much for that, Armando. With February coming to an end and March beginning next week, Women's History Month begins as well. With this, Hershey is looking to celebrate. As one of the very few Fortune 500 companies led by women, they have decided to decorate their candy bar wrappers with limited edition designs celebrating the impact of women and girls. Hershey is known for its equal pay initiatives in the marketplace and has also donated $150,000 to nonprofits that help empower girls to realize their full potential. Hershey wants you to celebrate as well by using the hashtag #CelebrateShe on your Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.
Next, an update on the Ukraine conflict as world leaders sanction Russia.
That 5-star review for your favorite headphones? How real is it? More on that after weather. Stay with us.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
A full-scale invasion is looking more and more likely as Russian troops have been ordered into Ukraine. CNN Isabel Rosales tells us what exactly the rest of the world has to say.
And outrage from world leaders.
This is the beginning of a Russian invasion of Ukraine.
President Joe Biden following through on promises of more severe sanctions. 2 large Russian financial institutions sanctioned. Russia's government cut off from Western financing. The U.S. will also sanction Russian elites and send more troops to Baltic states to reinforce NATO.
If Russia goes further with this invasion, we stand prepared to go further as with sanctions.
Russian military vehicles spotted along the border with eastern Ukraine. President Vladimir Putin formally recognized 2 Russian-backed regions in Ukraine as independent states Monday, ordering his troops there in an alleged peacekeeping mission. The U.S. is refuting those claims.
He's setting up a rationale to go much further. This is a flagrant violation of international law and demands a firm response from the international community.
Swift condemnation from NATO allies.
Moscow has now moved from covert attempts to destabilize Ukraine to overt military action.
The United Kingdom freezing the assets of 5 Russian banks and 3 oligarchs. Russia's biggest gas customer, Germany, suspending progression of a key gas pipeline. Ukraine's president says he believes there will be no war with Russia, but cautioned his troops will be prepared. Diplomatic efforts continue, but prospects grow dimmer by the hour. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
There's still a scheduled meeting with the U.S. Secretary Anthony Blinken and his Russian counterpart on Thursday, while the U.S. anticipates Russian military action.
The case of the murder of Ahmad Arbury has finally reached a conclusion, as 3 men were found guilty and could be spending the rest of their lives wearing orange. CNN's Chris Wynn has the story.
On the eve of the second anniversary of Ahmad Arbery's death, the 3 white men who killed him were found guilty on all counts in a federal hate crimes trial.
I, as a mom, will never heal.
Tuesday, Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan were convicted of interference of rights, a federal hate crime, and attempted kidnapping. The McMichaels were also found guilty of an additional firearms charge for using and carrying a firearm during a crime of violence.
They gave us a sense of a small victory, but we as a family will never get victory because Ahmad is gone forever.
The jury found that the men attempted to chase Arbery and attempted to unlawfully confine him using their trucks as he jogged through their neighborhood outside Brunswick, Georgia in February 2020. Arbery's mother relieved with the verdicts after the judge rejected an earlier plea deal agreed to by prosecutors.
They didn't have a son that was lying in a cold grave.
All right, come on.
And they still didn't hear my cry.
All 3 men could now receive sentences of up to life in prison and heavy fines for the federal convictions. They're currently serving life sentences after being previously convicted of murdering Arbery in a separate state trial, although they have said they plan to appeal.
No one should fear that if they go out for a run, they will be targeted and killed because of the color of their skin.
I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
In efforts to reduce domestic violence and raise awareness, a UNT Mayborn professor is about to debut a documentary on the issue. ntTV's Olivia Thompson is at the Union to tell us more. Olivia.
That's correct, Hannah. What better way to advocate for domestic violence victims than through community conversation? I'm currently standing in the UNT Lyceum, which is located in room 226. Here, the screening of the film Beyond Conviction will be played at 6 p.m. It's a 30-minute documentary. Afterwards, a slew of panelists, some of whom were in the film themselves, will be opening the floor to speak on the effects of domestic violence and more, with UNT experts in social work and criminal justice. UNT's own Professor Thorin Anderson, alongside other UNT participants, including graduate Hope Alvarez and the Hatch Visuals organization, play a large role in this film. The event is free and open to the public, so be sure to check it out this Thursday at 6 p.m. That's all I have. I'm Olivia Thompson. Back to you, Hannah and Nick.
Thanks, Olivia. While it's everyone's worst fear, domestic violence also occurs on campus. Here's how the university handles cases like these. The university offers a multitude of resources to help students stay safe or have a safe space to come to. Kaylee Garcia is a student advocate on campus and is located on the 4th floor of the Student Union.
I do see a lot of sexual assault, but that sexual assault doesn't necessarily mean that it occurred here on campus. It could very well have occurred in high school when they were children, and so I see an array of that, but definitely a lot of sexual assault. Domestic violence has been, and dating violence is another strong point.
And if you seek help from the university, there are protocols Kaylee has to follow to ensure the situation is being handled correctly.
If something happens on campus or with another UNT student, staff, or faculty member, I have to report that. If they decide that they don't want to report but they want to talk about it, they just have to keep that person anonymous.
Another resource the university offers is emergency phones, which are located all throughout campus. There are currently 80 emergency phones that look like this. They are to be utilized to report suspicious activities, if you're lost and in need of direction, vehicle emergencies, or if you feel you are being followed. Once pushing this button, a campus officer will be dispatched to you. At night, you can recognize the emergency phones by the blue light located at the top of the phone. While the phones can be used for many life-threatening situations, one severe case is stalking.
Stocking is one of those things that students have a harder time, I think, coming to me to talk about because they're really not sure what the definition is or how to view stalking.
While the definition may seem unclear to many, the university defines stalking as any unwanted, repetitive attention that puts you in danger.
Hannah, aren't you going out of town this weekend?
I am, Nick, and I'm headed to the Austin area. Isabella, what is it looking like down there?
Well, Hannah, you're in luck because it's actually pretty warm in Austin right now. However, it's the icy conditions that might make it difficult to get down to Austin. But first, let's take a look at the current conditions across North Texas. As you can see, we're sitting mostly in the high 30s, low 40s. Up in Bowie and Gainesville, the temperatures have dropped to 39 degrees. Here in Denton, we're sitting at 42 degrees, but down south over in Dallas, it's 43, and down south in Stephenville, it is currently 44 degrees. Now let's take a look at the current conditions across the state. Again, here in Denton, we're sitting in 42 degrees, but you can kind of see how that cold front is starting to affect the cities. Up north in Oklahoma City, it is currently 30 degrees, and then in Amarillo, it's 31. However, all the way out west over in El Paso, it is up to 74, and then down south in Austin, it is currently 78. Now let's take a look at the current forecast for the week. As you can see today, or tomorrow and Thursday, we're going to be seeing that wintry conditions. We have a high of 29 and a low of 25 Wednesday with a 94% chance of rain. It is that low temperatures and that rain that's going to make the conditions a little icy. And then Friday we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 42 and a low of 30 and a 40% chance of rain. Then Saturday we have a 92% chance of rain. It's going to be cloudy, rainy, and the high is only 45 degrees with a low of 28. And then Saturday the sun comes out. We have a high of 60 and a low of 26. But then Monday and Tuesday those clouds start to come back. We're staying in the 60s, but we have a low of 40 and 41. And then there is a 25% chance of rain Tuesday. That is all I have for full weather. Be sure to stay tuned for another look at the live radar. Hannah and Nick, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Isabella. The end of 3G cellular networks might be harmful for you and your car. Find out more after the break.
Looking to get in shape before spring break? Well, the rec center is starting group workouts. The full story is coming up.
UNT is more than 125 years in the making. To find new solutions, we create a new point of view. We know what's possible when creativity, originality, and independent thought converge. We're ranked a Tier 1 research university. We're home to excellence the size of Texas. Define your future at UNT and soar to new heights.
I can't just buy a new product. I have to know what it is I'm spending my money on. Nearly 90% of Americans go to the review section before making a decision on a purchase. But it's becoming apparent that you can't always trust what you read. News reporter Sydney Jolivet has the story.
Thanks, Nick. For people who need a little more motivation on whether or not to go to a restaurant or purchase the hottest new product, online reviews are the one-stop shop. Now, that information could be unreliable. On Tuesday, Amazon filed lawsuits against 2 companies that allegedly acted as fake review brokers. The lawsuits accuse AppSally and Rebatast of fostering fake reviews on Amazon's third-party marketplace. According to AppSally and Rebatast, the companies have over 900,000 users writing fake reviews for various products across the internet, but mainly on Amazon. We will keep you updated as the story progresses. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys. For people who need a little motivation on whether or not to continue on those, you can always trust, on motivation on whether or not to go out to a restaurant or purchase the hottest new product. Online reviews are the one-stop shop. Now that information could be unreliable. On Tuesday, Amazon filed lawsuits against 2 companies that allegedly attacked as fake review brokers. The lawsuits accuse Appalsy and Rebatast of fostering fake news on Amazon's third-party marketplace. According to Appalsy and Rebatast, the companies have over 900,000 users writing fake reviews for various products across the internet, but mainly on Amazon. We will keep you updated on the story as this progresses.
Or maybe even a workout buddy, the UNT Rec Center has you covered. ntTV's Austin Hedgecoth has more on Commit to be Fit.
Thanks, Hannah. We've all been told to eat a balanced diet, but what about keeping a balanced workout routine? Strength training, cardio, and a mix of other exercises are needed to keep your body happy and your heart healthy. UNT Rec Sports Group Workouts gives students a chance to do just that. Work, friends, and family, it can feel like there's no time left in the day to hit the gym. UNT Rec Sports wants to change that by providing students with opportunities to exercise and stay active right here on campus. As well as a full gym, open basketball courts, and an indoor soccer field, UNT Rec Sports offers group workout sessions. Last week, Rec Sports held a group dance workout. Led by instructor Lee Young, a group of over 20 students got together and boogied up a sweat.
If you associate good things with working out, you're going to keep doing it. And so if people come to dance fitness to de-stress and have fun, ultimately that's the best way that I want my class to be. I always remind people to have a good time. Even if they don't get the choreography, it's okay.
In addition to dance workouts, UNT Rec Sports offers a variety of group workouts that focus on different types of exercises. Eagle Strength is a group training program that combines weightlifting with high-intensity cardio for a well-rounded workout. Climb Strong classes provide strength and stability training while teaching participants proper climbing techniques. Tread Strong works to build endurance and improve heart health through treadmill interval workouts. In the fall, Rec Sports plans to add an outdoor boot camp style workout.
These are really good experiences. I'm really happy that UNT offers them because otherwise I wouldn't know where to go. And so, if you're on campus or if you're a little bit off campus, it's such a good place to just come and get active.
Spring Session 2 of group workouts begins next week, and registration for all groups is open now. There are a limited number of spots available for each group, and they are filling up fast, so hurry and register through the UNT Rec Sports website today. That's all for Commit to be Fit. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks. Now I have no excuse not to stay fit, Nick.
And you can always find me on the basketball court, but where you won't find me? Being the player of the week.
Well, I think our sports anchor, Armando Berry, has something up his sleeve about that. Armando?
Hey, Hannah and Nick, there's a lot of competition for the Denton area right now. I'll tell you more about it right after the break.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
It's less than 2 weeks into our Mean Green softball team season, and we've already got some congratulations in order. It was announced yesterday that junior pitcher Ashley Peters was named Conference USA Pitcher of the Week. This is her first time receiving this honor in her career, and it comes after a standout performance last weekend at the Tracy Beard College Classic in Melissa, Texas. She didn't allow a single run and set a new single-game career high of 7 strikeouts as the team won all 3 games. The Mean Green will be hoping Peters can keep this thing going when they face the UT softball team in Austin tomorrow night. UNT golf on both the men's and women's side are moving headfirst into the heat of their season. On the women's side, this team is only 3 tournaments away from competing for the CUSA Championship and have come across some hardware while doing it. Today, the women's team finished 13th overall at the Icon Classic in Houston that was loaded with top 50 teams. The men's team is making their spring debut at the Prestige in La Quinta, California, and are still trying to get it going after finding themselves in the middle of the pack at 16th after day 1. Besides just UNT, the Denton area has some high school teams that are worthy of some praise as well. One of those being the Denton Braswell girls basketball team that is making program history as they head to San Antonio to compete in the regional quarterfinals. The 12th ranked Bengals team reached win number 26 in a row after defeating Arlington Bowie 60-34 last Thursday. Tonight, that streak is on the line when they face Plano East in the Alamo Dome at 6:30 p.m. Win or loss, this Bengals team has certainly earned their stripes in the history books of Braswell High School. That's a look at sports for tonight. Hannah and Nick, back to you at the desk.
Hannah, as I'm sure you remember, it is my birthday on Thursday, and the plan is to go out, but what should I do?
Well, Nick, considering that the roads might freeze, I think it's best if you just stay inside. Isabella, any tips on how to handle this weather?
Sadly, Nick, you might have to stay in for your birthday because we are expecting some icy conditions. Looking here at our live radar, we can see that the cold front will continue to spread through North Texas through Thursday night, bringing with it a widespread of rain, freezing temperatures, and possibly sleet. Accumulation of sleet does not look significant with only 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch, but a winter weather advisory has still been issued from 6 a.m. Wednesday to 6 p.m. Thursday, so stay inside if you can, but if you do go out, be cautious. That's all I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television.